You guys are stepping up your cut game, I see.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I just told Arlo I'll give everybody on the crew $50 if this thing fits.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna watch you put it in then, for sure.
It's gotta fit, you guys.
There's no way it's gonna. There's no way it's gonna.
Did you
fit.
hold it up and make tick marks on the side of the
No, I
rafters?
just eyed it. I just looked up and was like.
We're almost done with our siding, so I got put on the stain all the shakes detail, which is a good thing to pre-finish so you can get all the edges and the back. And I'm not gonna do the top because it's gonna be covered by like 2 layers of shingles, and then I'm just chunking these in the yard. So that's what Arla said to do. Said they shouldn't get messed up by just laying there the way this soaks in. So about a zillion of these, and we'll be ready to put some up. Where do the shakes begin and the trash end? I don't know. It's kind of a blurred line here in the afternoon. We have a really tricky spot to caulk where there's just not room to get the caulk gun and the caulk tube in place. Have you ever seen those rifles where they curve the barrel and you can shoot around a corner? I don't know if that actually works though. All right, I'm gonna use that same theory right here. I'm gonna take one of these Lexel caulk tips, and this one I started to bend here. I'm thinking if I can bend it enough to where it'll stay about like that. What do you think? You think it might just
shoot around a corner?
I don't know. I'm willing to let you try though.
Well, it may not be pretty here. It doesn't have to be, but I think that could work right now.
Okay.
What do you think? By the way, I wasn't going to tell you about this, but I guess you heard us saying bent tip.
Can I shoot?
Now this is kind of like whether you're supposed to weld pushing or pulling, and I'm pushing on this one, and I'm gonna jig it just a little bit.
This seems to be working amazingly enough.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a caulk in a really tight spot,
Mm-hmm.
hey, just go ahead and bend the tip. Go around the corner.
No, just bend the tip.
I was really thinking that wasn't going to work, but it worked perfectly.
Oh, come on. You didn't think it was gonna work?
No. It gets real weird about 3 o'clock around here.
It's the only way to keep us sane, dude.
Now that we have a bunch of these shakes stained over here, we're thinking we should check out the shakes on the existing house because we're trying to match that. Check out the reveal and just how it's done to see if there's anything special we need to note. What do you think?
Well, they did a 6-inch reveal, which I think is about right.
Can you see that from right here?
I did, yeah. I read my tape. I just got it in the light. The sun is shining in the right spot.
Okay.
It's 6 inches. I mean,
yeah.
to the 16th, I would say.
Okay.
They do have a flashing under here, although it's a little funky. And,
That is kind of funky.
They kind of put the shingles, it looks like right down tight to the flashing,
Right.
which typically we don't do because it will soak water up into the end of those.
You want a
Although,
space.
am I concerned about it? No, because it's not my house. No, actually, because there's a giant overhang right here.
That is a giant overhang.
So I am not concerned about it, but I wouldn't do that given the choice. I want to point out that they have this decorative trim board above it right here.
Yep.
I think this is called a freeze board.
Yep.
And
You're right.
I don't know how it came to be, other than looking decorative. But you see how these are broken pieces right here? Ooh, look at them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see
Tiny
it.
bits. All right. Well, we're gonna do our freeze board that overlaps the top of the shakes, so that the part that you see will actually extend up behind the freeze board.
Yeah.
So that our smallest pieces that taper down to nothing will actually be at least like 4 or 5 or 6 inches
You don't
tall.
have like little teeny nuggets or triangles that could just fall off like that.
Yeah, so I think I'm only guessing that the purpose of the freeze board maybe is to allow you to cut a piece that's not so small.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
wish
think the other
knew.
purpose is you don't have to be as accurate with those angled cuts against
Oh,
the
yeah.
soffit.
That's right.
They can be a little off, a little wacky, gappy.
I mean, it
Doesn't matter because you're going to cover it with a nice board like that.
Yeah, it could be way off and you would never know.
That's always the reason I
It
did
could
it.
speed you up a lot. It
Yes.
could really speed you up. Sure.
Yes.
One more thing I'm checking out here in an effort to make our shakes match what he did. I'm checking out the gap in between each of the shakes here. You know, it varies between a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 of an inch. So I think like 3/8 will be our goal. Although I gotta say, our shakes seem a little wet. Did you notice that?
Yep.
They are not 100% dry. And given that, it's probably gonna shrink some. So our
probably go a
gap will
1/4.
get bigger. So 1/4, end up with 3/8.
Yeah. I think they're stored outside at the lumber yard because they're considered a roofing material.
Oh yeah,
Like the shingles we get in the bundles, they're always soaking wet.
right? Does it say on the label? or anything about those? I'm really actually curious if you could put those on the roof.
I mean, I don't know about those particular ones because they're like a number 2.
Okay.
But generally, yes, like cedar shake roof is...
That's a thing, huh?
Yeah.
I don't
4-inch
know much
exposure
about
or something
that.
like that.
I don't know what it is, but have you ever been up north and noticed that like every house in the United States up north has cedar shingles like for siding? What's the deal with that?
I don't know. It's very weather resistant, rot resistant material.
You think that's why they do it?
I have no idea. I live in the South, buddy.
I know.
I don't know.
Well, I would like to know. I mean, I'm curious. That's all. I really
Somebody
am
will know in
curious.
the comments.
And
if
I
you
do
really
like
want to
it.
know, read the comments, and someone will tell you. Boom.
Okay, please.
I'm going to go ahead and go around all of the windows to the window trim, this gap, and caulk it with some white Lexel. That's really good sealant, by the way. And I just want to point out, I don't know if I have already in this video series, but if I haven't, that we did leave this 1/8 inch to 3/16 of an inch gap everywhere around the windows and really all of the butt joints so that we could have an amount of sealant pushed into that gap and not just on the surface of the connection, so that there's more of it, and when there's more of it, there's more of a chance of it having enough material to stretch and retract over the years versus a very thin layer that's just smeared on the top. So it's a really important thing for sealing this thing up long term.
It's not every day you end up with a piece of siding that looks like this. Arlo just carved this one out. And we just really like the LP Smart Siding because you can cut pieces like this and they won't break. And we can stick this in with some Lexel or something, even shoot some nails in it, and it'll be just fine.
Good job, Arlo.
Can you imagine doing that on a concrete board?
I don't think that'd be a good idea. You even got the little bevel angle there to go on. Is that for the top of
Yeah.
our brace?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
that's good fit.
Go try it, Arlo. You can take the pleasure.
I think it's got one. Oh,
Or the pain, if it doesn't fit.
Because I have to caulk it, that's all.
Get your bent tip on that.
I think you can say that. Here it is.
Does it hit the mark, John?
Yep.
Yep. Nice job.
I feel like a model airplane.
I'm up here with our last little bit of siding that isn't installed of this lap siding. We haven't done it because we don't have a roof on, so there's no step flashing that would go up this wall and go under the siding. But the roof's not going to be here before we want to do this, so Jamie's again doing this board against the wall that will do a piece of flashing over that then later they can tuck the step flashing up under. And this could be called a lot of different things. What would you call this?
I think we call it counter flashing.
Yeah, and it runs past 1 inch because that's how far usually the shingles run past the end of the drip edge here, so that everything is out and away from this surface. It'll drip here instead of here, which is in the depth of the siding or behind the siding, which is terrible. I gotta go. Last basketball
You
practice.
could probably call Kyle, our builders. You could probably
Yeah.
try to do that. for us.
I'll call him on the way home. He'd be like,
Sure, he'd have some
he'd
good
be like,
advice.
yeah, get your own YouTube channel.
Besides, tell us.
He's been calling Jamie Kyle the whole day.
Just because I've had my metal cutters out. I've been cutting flashing all day.
Yeah. Hey, leave a comment on Kyle's channel about that. He'll really get a kick out of that.
Mhm. What a guy.
What a guy.
I'm making a tip extender.
Just the world's biggest caulk tube tip I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is.
You want to show me what you're doing with that? I'm really getting curious.
Well, I got this spot.
This guy,
See that? The little nugget next to that
tight.
rafter tail in between
yeah,
the.
yeah. Right
2
there.
1/4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't get my gun in there.
The
Well.
extendo tip.
Look at that thing.
Does it work?
Well, I gotta tape it together because when you push it, it wants to all.
Oh, zip tape.
We are back on site this morning, and right away I'm noticing this really nice staining station set up.
That's right. Not for us. That's the homeowner right there.
Really?
Yeah, I came back to the job a couple hours after work, and
You usually do that at night?
no, I forgot my. Well, it's about an hour after work. I forgot my paint here, and I had to get it. Well, anyway, they were all standing here, the homeowners, looking at the shakes that we had stained, looking at cedar, looking at that house, looking at their house. I was like, oh no, it doesn't look good. No smiles, no happy faces. Anyway, the stain we used was too dark. but it was the stain that they had used on their other house. What they decided to do is do a 50-50 mix of the dark walnut and the special walnut and brush it on. And as a matter of fact, they decided they would do it themselves.
Wow.
To save time.
This is not all bad news.
It's not. I was actually happy that they're going to take care of it. And now I don't have to worry about it. And we can focus on getting the paint on the house.
What about these?
Well, there's a lot of shakes that are staying too dark, and we really can't use them, except for Arlo had the great idea of using them on the starter row. That will actually all be covered.
Yep. Okay.
So you can't just put one layer up and then stagger the next layer. You actually double your first layer, and you cut 6 inches off the bottom of the first piece so it doesn't build up too thick. So there's quite a bit of material we can use and redeem its value.
Arlo's already getting in there.
He's getting to it.
This video is brought to you by Keeps. I'm hanging out with my buddy Alex here, and as you can see, he's got awesome hair. It's super long. He's even recognized in public, I think, when we're out together by his hair.
Sometimes.
He has a YouTube channel about mountain biking, and people will literally see the hair from across the street.
Think I'm a girl.
Alex! They'll be running. So, unlike Alex, I'm not blessed with the so much hair I don't know what to do with it gene. So I've been using Keeps to help me keep my hair, which has really worked great for me because I was losing my hair pretty quickly in my mid-30s, as do 2 out of 3 guys over the age
I
of
asked
30.
you about it previously because I don't want to get to that.
No.
And you're like, I'm using this stuff and it's working.
That's the best time to start using it is before you lose all your hair.
Yeah.
When you start losing it, Keeps can help you keep your hair.
Right.
I've actually seen really good results. My hair has actually regrown where I was losing it, so I'm really happy with that. And it's been super easy for me to use. It's just once a day. It takes me like 15 seconds. It's not that expensive. It's like half what you'd pay at a pharmacy, but you don't even have to go to a pharmacy.
That's the beauty of it.
They send it to you 3 months supply at a time in the mail in a discreet package. For anybody that cares, that makes it even less of a thing. So I wouldn't be embarrassed if you having a little bit of hair loss going on, you're a guy, I would try it. It's really worked well for me. And if you want to try it, just click the link down in our video description or head to keeps.com/Perkins. You'll get a great offer. Thank you, Keeps, for sponsoring our video.
Keeps.
Let's go get this hair out in the wind.
Where did I get this miracle solution?
That's what you look like right there. So you're just going to transfer this angle you've got here right through these, and that's the roof pitch.
And then the next one is a full shingle. So I'll probably start with a short one over here because we need. Well, the reason I'm going to do that is because the first shingle that I'm going to put down, I want to put wide, right?
Yeah.
Like this wide. Mm-hmm. And then we'll do the next one. And then once we hit that, we'll just keep cutting. And I'll just give you this stack.
I've never seen this done like this, but I think it's a good idea.
I had to do it up way in a gable on like a 40-foot ladder, and I was like, okay, and I just...
so you just cut yourself a whole pouch full and then went up. Smart.
We're going to use this Bostitch staple gun here using 1.25 inch long staples that are galvanized. And the good thing about them is they won't blow through like a nail gun, like a finish gun, say a brad gun or something. Really almost next to nothing for holding power. We also have some small galvanized nails that we might use here and there, but these are so fast to shoot.
You shoot like 1,000 of them in a minute.
It'll never come off.
I'm going to draw myself a line about 1/4 inch up off this flashing that I'm going to start my shakes on because I don't want them to be touching that. Even though it's sloped, it could just soak up water. No, because I don't want to have to hold anything. I think this is the way to go. All right, Arlo's got my stack here in order. I'm going to go put them up. Unbelievable. Look at this. So you can see why you have to double the bottom row. Otherwise, you'd see the white or the green board or the zip tape or something, you know, in the joints of the first row. Not bad. There's our starter row done, and this is just like a starter row on a shingled roof. It's entirely covered except for just the gaps of the real first row. We'll have to land on one of these faces, not on one of these gaps, is the idea. And we cut, if I didn't say it already, the exact amount of the exposure off the bottom of these already so that the depth will stack out the same as the rest. Our staining team has arrived, and we've got the mother-in-law of the family here, and family members from Texas have flown in. and Ben's giving them the rundown of exactly how he wants these stained. We've got our second course going on here, and I'm trying to nail only above 6 inches up now because that's going to be what the next course covers down. And this is about the minimum stagger I would want to a joint, about 1 inch. That one's a little less. That one's about 3/4.
Yeah, it really should be.
It should be like 1 inch, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they actually say inches. But I think
So this next one actually is too close going here. So I'm going to have him get me a narrow one, and we'll keep going up. But we're going for about 1 inch minimum there. Y'all are about to see the weirdest thing I've done today, or in a while, actually, ever maybe. Jason's been working out and losing some weight, right?
Cold plunging.
That's bull crap. Whatever. He's been losing
every morning, 20 pounds, over
Okay.
20 pounds.
Okay.
In 3 months.
Moral of the story is his pants don't fit him and his belt doesn't either. So I'm going to drill him a new hole. Where do you want it?
Yeah, I think somewhere there is probably.
I'm not really sure why you didn't just take the belt off and do this yourself, but there you go, buddy.
Perfect.
Need further? You need further.
I think I do need further.
You're like 7 inches smaller. Like that much further?
Sure.
Where was your old notch?
Well, you can see that one was made, that one was made, that one was made, and that one's made. Dude,
You could just buy a new belt.
Dude,
This is at a size 45 belt?
No, it's a 34. I bought this belt, maybe a 36. I bought this belt from Walmart. I kid you not. I bet this belt's 10 years old. I'm not even joking you. It's the best belt I've ever had.
I'm not having a hard time believing this at all, seeing it.
No, I'm telling you.
It looks like it's 10 years
Here,
old.
let's see what that is. Oh, yeah.
You almost need more.
No, I think that's good. Perfect.
True Work needs to send you some new pants.
I got some new ones.
Okay.
Yeah, these are 34s. They're falling off. I got into 32s, and they're actually even a little... Yeah, my wife hates me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She thinks I'm going to leave it for a younger woman. I was like, dude, you're a doctor. Where am I going? No, that's not the only reason. That's not the only reason.
On each new course up here, I'm just marking a line with a level 6 inches up from the bottom. That's our exposure. And then I'm measuring over from the point to these first few joints so that Arlo can pick pieces down there that are the right width so they don't fall on those same joint layouts. And then I'll put those up. Then he'll hand me a huge stack and I can just pick through those to get the ones I want. What do you think?
I think this sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting them up the minute they get stained. The next minute, install them. But that's what we're doing. But it looks fantastic. Look at that, Arlo.
It does look good.
It's like we're real carpenters. It's amazing. How you guys feeling back there?
That was good, Jason. Can you move your butt cheek so I can? You don't even need a seatbelt.
John's
Jammed
gone.
in here like sardines so much.
John's gone.
I bought a little runaround car from these people we're working for.
Me?
And
Mine?
it's on the compact side.
I don't think the buckle.
You don't need to
oh,
buckle
yeah, no, it
your
does.
seat. We're jammed in here so tight, you're not going to go anywhere.
All right,
I
the
got
bus
you.
is leaving. Check it out.
Dude,
Zip tape window.
there you go. They ain't never going to leak.
No. Arlo's gonna try something here. He measured the little front gable, the dimensions, and he's gonna try to cut every single piece in the entire thing, including like this starter row, and label each one from like 1 to 50, and then hand them to me in a stack. Is that right?
That's right.
I mean, I pretty much believe that it's gonna happen since you're doing it, but
I actually can't believe how good this looks, and I'm not even faking it or nothing. I mean, it looks like something that somebody built just to take a picture of. You know what I'm saying?
well, you can take a picture of it if you
I mean, dude, it's so, I don't want to say the word cute, but it is cute because it's small. But, dude, it just looks awesome.
My wife says all the time.
I get told all the time. That's really cute.
It's a bold color.
Yeah.
I'm watching it dry here. I'm literally watching paint dry.
Okay.
Well, and the reason I am is because I'm trying to see if it's going to cover in one coat. I'm doing my absolute best to achieve a one coat coverage. I don't think he's going to want to pay us to paint twice. Mm-hmm. There may be a few little thin spots. It's just really hard to tell.
I'll coat and a touch up.
Yeah, maybe that would do it. I am trying not to get it all over the corner boards because this is going to be white.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like painting white over a really dark color. It might take a few coats. Some of it is getting on there, and I really can't
I do see
avoid
some
it.
thin spots, like right
there.
Yep. Boom.
Well,
so it is what it is. A lot of these paints that say 1 coat coverage are not.
yeah. I don't know if this one says that.
There
but
has been a couple that were, and I don't know which was which, or if it had to do with the color probably more than anything,
it
honestly.
definitely could. Yeah, it definitely could.
So that's all I've got to say about that.
This seems like actually a really good paint, though. Like it feels the right like stickiness.
It is very thick looking.
It's not too watery. It's not too thick. It seems
It's like Mama Bear's porridge.
it really seems just right. So I think we got a good chance of getting away with it. And maybe
We opted not to spray it too, just because there's like finished stonework, white soffits, the window. It's such a small house.
neighbors, cars.
Yeah, it was going to take
windows.
us just as long to mask it off as
Yeah.
to just roll it.
Plus, I always have to take the paint sprayer home and clean them.
Jason, what are you doing?
We need.
You just want to stand here and hold this out for a minute?
I can do whatever you want, bro.
Yeah,
right.
that's what we need.
That's what we need.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm going to give this a quick test fit. And then Jason had the brilliant idea of painting this entire thing and letting it dry so that we don't have to cut in against this dark colored stained wood here, which was a good idea. So right there. So the center of that is not the center of the peak. It actually is good, I think. I'm using a trim nailer for these freeze boards just because I can't get the coil nailer up in here because this overhang is so short. So this is the only thing that I could get to shoot. And it'll hold it. Well, we got this freeze board up and I hate it. We should have run it long across the band and out to the corner like we did the front, I think. I think we got to tear it off there.
Yeah.
By we, I mean I am going to.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
But we might need to cut this drip cap
Yeah, just
out
yeah,
so it doesn't
or you
just
can
smash
just
it.
Cut it, yeah, exactly. We can probably cut it with the muddy fine and then just smash what's underneath. It won't matter, right?
I don't know.
Pinch it in there.
Yeah. Let's just redo it. Do we have more trim?
We've got we've got that piece.
New board installed here. Let it run through. I cut the flashing so that it would just sort of smash flat on that section. And I think it looks way better. Probably no one would have noticed, but I just hated the way that other one looked for sure. Our man Ben here has a store, BCO, and we actually built the store for him and Brett, his business partner. And since he's been here, we've been talking about how we could have way better merchandise, including actually having some hats.
Well,
Right. Which I've been unsuccessful at creating a hat that we could sell to people. It's terrible.
This is what they do for a living. This is
Yeah.
what I do for a living.
So anyway, he just like had one night of no sleep and he shows up with like all of this stuff. So hopefully coming soon, there'll be a link in our video description to BCO, or you could buy it if you came to Bryson City where we live on like a whole Perkins Builder Brothers shelf potentially.
Oh yeah.
Or section.
More details to come.
Yes. What?
Arlo doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
I care a lot.
We're back at our remodel project here for presumably the last day. We've got a few shakes to put on and some decking. And our homeowner, Ben, has really impressed me. He's got an entire dumpster here full of insulation and wiring from the crawl space. That was a job I didn't even want to do. Let's take a look. Wow.
All cleaned out.
It's all cleaned out. What about the plumbing? Did you take that out?
Not yet, but it's looking like it's gonna happen.
Did you cut that pipe?
Yeah.
Oh, it smells so bad out here.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Oh man, he's got a big one.
Don't touch me.
I'm not gonna touch you. Don't worry.
The only way I can really explain how that smelled was to get Renee to reenact her face of what she looked like a second ago. How did it smell? There it was. There you go. Our last bit here is this deck. And if you remember in a previous video, Jaime measured their existing decking so that we could make this deck framing the exact right width where a full board would hang off 1 inch on each side of it. There and there. And I think the best way to make sure it's even is to start with the middle board, like right there. I've already got a plan. No.
I mean, well, I don't know if you know what you're up against here with this deck. Do you know what you're in for?
Exactly what I've already got it figured.
And you figured it out already.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, because I would tell you what I would do, but if you actually don't want to know, then I guess we can just...
What would you do?
Here's what you got to do. There's no other way.
You guys done yet?
All right. You find the center of the framing in chalk line, and that's where you actually put the screws or the center of a board. We have to figure out if it's the center of a board or the screws of the spacer.
I would have never thought of that.
Hey, I got an idea.
That's exactly what I said.
Okay.
So my deck board's 5.5. Half of that's 2 3/4. So that's the edge of the piece. There, we'll snap a line.
That's the edge?
That one.
Where's your center line of the deck?
There.
No.
That's the center line of the deck and that board. 2 3/4 over would be
That's 2 3/4. Oh, you know what? Actually, it looks bigger in the camera. We have a couple guys working on this bigger deck, and Jason has decided that he's going to start the little deck, so I'm going to jump over here with him. Now, this is a little bit unusual, and I guess by a little, I mean a lot. This deck previously was made from tongue and groove boards. It made more of a roof than a deck because the dirt underneath of it is inside the crawl space, unlike a modern house where almost every deck, the ground below it is open to the air. Outside the crawl space, this is actually in the crawl space. Now, we don't want water to go down between these boards if it blows rain in. And really, the only thing that we're gonna do is butt these boards tight to each other. I'm gonna check and see if the edges kind of seal up nice and snug if we do butt them tight. Now, this may not be the best practice, but it is what we're gonna do. And I think it will work just fine. There's a really nice roof over this thing, so there's really not much of a chance of water going in it.
That is a wrap on our remodel project here. Our homeowner, Ben, is gonna finish the inside as an owner builder, pulling permits for that. And he's just gonna take his time. He's capable and he'll save some money in doing so. But this has been a super fun project for us, taking this dilapidated, really old cottage and turning it into something new that matches his existing home. We're gonna head back to our main project now, the modern build, and finish the inside of that. So thanks for joining us on this little side job. Thanks for building with us, and we'll see you on the next one.